So this is going to be fun because we have found what looks to be a new source for RV gear that is like stuff that you always need to pick up when you're out and about. And then here's kind of like the deal. After 5 years of RVing, we have realized that sometimes you find yourself in a little bit more like remote area, small town, but there's always one of these in every small town. So we're gonna head over there today. It looks like according to the website inventory, they've got all the stuff. Let's go find out what they actually really truly have. All right, so here's the deal. We have figured out pretty much almost any small town USA always seems to have an Ace Hardware, like everywhere that you go. And we've heard and we've looked online that they've got a good selection of RV accessories. So we're gonna go find out if they really do or don't. Plus, there's one particular accessory in general that we have heard that they have that I want to verify, because this is something that you pretty much are going to need a lot of, and it's something you need to replace often, so let's go see if we can find it. So now here's the deal. Even though RV accessories aren't obviously on the top list, here's one thing that we do love hardware stores for, and that is RV DIY projects. So these like closet made type shelves, we actually have several of these in the RVs. They've got these with all of the parts that you need to get this installed. So one thing we use a lot of in our RV are command hooks. It's a great place to pick them up. They've got a lot of variety, and so you can find what you need. But the one thing that I like about like an Ace Hardware is that they're available in almost any small town you visit. All right, so we've got a section, albeit a little bit smaller section, because to remember, this is Ace Hardware. This isn't like another big box store, but we actually have RV accessories here at Ace Hardware. So you've got really your basic things like the basic water pressure regulator, hose, elbows. You've got drinking water hoses. We've got these electrical adapters. Now, if you don't have one of these, you probably want to get yourself one of these to just carry it with you, because these come in handy in so many different situations. You can find Ace Hardware pretty much at any small town. It's super easy, super convenient, and in a pinch, you got lots of stuff to choose from. So they've got, this is just a 10, this just says 10 foot, right? So this is not very big, but again, like we're talking about in a pinch. You find yourself, you're in a small town, you need something quick, here you go. So I do have to laugh at this because we have a 20 foot, this, how can this be 20 feet? It expands maybe? 20 feet RV sewer hose, but look at, okay. This is not just for any camper. This is for weekend RVing.
Oh, this is cheap, not so cheap hose.
So if you are just going to be weekend RVing, oh, it collapses to 21 inches. Yeah, see, so 21 inches to 20 feet. Space saving for weekend RVing. You know, one thing that I feel like with RVing that we are always using, this is like what we have that hold the dinette like to the floor of the RV. So these types of little like L brackets, braces, I feel like this is always a good idea to have some of these like on hand, because you never know, like seriously, like if something breaks and you need to like repair it, like brace it, right? Like it's nice to have something that's a little bit more robust to fix, but like having just extra little things on hand, super helpful. So, you know, a lot of RVers actually do have like camp stoves or some sort of like even some of the Blackstones use these little propane canister things. They've got these that are available here as well. It says right here that this product is specifically formulated to allow the worker ants to consume the product and survive long enough to carry it back to the rest of the colony. So gets rid of your ants. So here's another thing that is super amazing about some of these hardware stores is like right now they've got a bunch of stuff on sale. So like these are on sale. This 0G hose is on sale for $36. We just checked right now on Amazon. This thing's like, what, $45? So definitely a better deal at your local hardware store. And a lot of these hardware stores too, like this, they're locally owned, even though it's a franchise. You can support local business while you're traveling. There was one thing when we first walked in that I saw that they have here, and it's extremely inexpensive for what it is. So I think that this just might be the time that I actually get myself one. And it's only $35.
What is it?
It's a Stanley.
When we're walking around, it's gonna feel like we're holding an 8-pound kettlebell. Our arms are gonna be chiseled, like chisels. You hear how hard that is, Todd?
I know, they're only $35 on sale. I like this blue color. So another thing, like all of your lubricants, so WD-40, but also other types of lubricants. And for whatever reason, this white lithium grease, every time I see this, it reminds me of that song, White Lightning.
White lightning.
Every time I see white lithium grease, I think White Lightning.
Look behind you.
What's behind me? Pennzoil? Funnels?
Funnels. All the funnels you need.
Oh, actually, funnels. Like you need a funnel because a lot of different reasons.
And it acts as a little hat. Cherry.
Look, they actually do have an RV accessory right here too. Camco jack stands.
There we go.
There you go. If you have a towable, your trailer hitch lube, got that. So you can get some of that at Ace.
Oh, we've got thread locker in case you need to lock those threads.
We learned the hard way when we first started RVing and we blew a fuse and we didn't have extra fuses. So all your little like fuses and stuff like that here, and then hitch stuff. So if you have anything where you need hitch stuff or you're out on the road and you've got an issue or anything like that, lots of options at the hardware store. So here's actually something that we keep with us and we use, and that is one of these like two-way hose things. And the reason why that we do this is because we can have one for fresh water coming into the RV, and then we can have a separate one to just do things like rinsing off the dog or rinsing off feet or something like that.
They do have a four-way if you're into something like that, where you've got one for the flush, one for the spraying off your feet, one for the water hose, and one for whatever else you're into.
Look at these too. These are like another type of storage bin, but they've got all sorts of like little storage bin toolbox kind of stuff for all your miscellaneous screws and brackets and stuff that you really should be carrying with you that you are going to need at some point.
You want to know one cool thing about these though? These type of
Oh, they
pins, they snap
snap.
together to where you can actually lock them in place and it's all together.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So the one thing that I was hoping that they would have here, they don't. So we're gonna run just down the street to another place that is not your typical RV accessories place and see if we can find it there. So let's go. So we're here at the local Harbor Freight now. We're here because Ben has told me that this is like the next best thing to your hardware store for RV accessories. We're gonna go in and we're gonna find out if he's right or if he's wrong. But there's still the one thing that we need that we haven't found yet. So if it's not here, I know where we can get it, but let's see if maybe they have it here by chance. All right, so this isn't like specific RV, but these actually come in handy for like basement storage stuff where you can install these to secure things, or if you have like a toy hauler, obviously that kind of thing there. Definitely good. These are actually a thing. We use the Catchy now, but this works. If you want some like RV basement organization, dude, look at this. This is even like a canvas bag thing that's
a men's version of the rope basket.
This is a men's version of the rope basket, 100%. Look at that. These are similar to those Acro Mill bins,
Yep.
like that are stackable or whatever.
Benefit of those.
They stack.
And you can access that right from the front.
Yeah, and they stack.
$12 storage cases for your bolts and screws and miscellaneous stuff.
Really good price for like organization stuff for tools and screws and all the things. Well, there's lots of lighting here. And with RVs and lighting, I mean, you always need some lights. These are kind of fun, these little like curtain twinkle lights or your outdoor string lights, headlamps. You always need a headlamp, I feel like, when you need to like run the garbage down to the campground dumpster in the middle of the night or something like that. More solar lights, those are always nice to put around your campsite. And then, let's see, what do we have here? Where's the light? Oh, this, look. Here you go. This is a rechargeable floodlight but it magnets. So you can like stick this somewhere under the RV or whatever. And
These $29 ones I have, but they have the big one.
I don't think I've ever seen this. I've seen neck fans, but this is a neck light. That's interesting. Huh, look at this. Lots and lots of solar panels. So this is pretty cool. And these like foldable suitcase type of solar panels, we have some of these a little bit larger from Rich Solar, but that's a smaller version of that. This kind of stuff, this is great for RVing. Ever since RV Unplugged, I've really wanted one of these.
No. Put it back.
They have a 10-watt megaphone. I need a megaphone.
No! God, please, no! No!
So these are like little solar powered motion lights. These are super handy to put like on the outside of the RV. So like when you walk by or whatever, you can see where you're going. Now this is interesting, imitation security camera. I wouldn't do that, just do the real thing. There, it's like solar eclipse helmet for viewing the eclipse. Right there. So this is interesting. I've not seen this before, but this is like a suction cup handle and it's designed right on here to go like on bathtub areas. So if you are somebody that needs some extra stability, like in your RV shower or tub, well, not that RVs have tubs, but you know, the shower, this could be a good solution. See, it says helps prevent dangerous slips and falls.
I wouldn't trust that. Anyways.
$8. So here's the funny thing. Ben and I have always joked about this. If I can get this to go back on. Good Lord. So this is like a pet tie out. But really, like, people sell these like in kits with like ropes and stuff to tie down your awning so that if you have a windstorm or whatever, you don't have awning damage. It's much cheaper. Like right here, look, $3.49. Get a couple of them for $7. You definitely always need stuff like this. So like bungee cords, rope is a good idea to have on hand. Like if you're gonna make an awning thing like we talked about, these types of tie down straps, you're going to need this kind of stuff. All right, so here's another thing a lot of people get from Harbor Freight for RVing, and that are these Predator generators. Now, we have an onboard one, thankfully, but we know a ton of RVers that are using these and are really happy with them. So now here is something that is like RV specific, and that are these electrical adapters. So they have these electrical adapters here. Looks like they're $10 a piece, so that's like a pretty good deal. Definitely want one of these. We carry these all the time because you just never know when you just might want to be able to have some sort of source of power that you just didn't know you were going to be able to have. I'm telling you what, between Gorilla Tape and zip ties, that's what our RV's held together with. Not really, but you know, it's nice to have some. So this is interesting. This says multi-use transfer pump. This says ideal for changing oil, siphoning gas, and more. But Ben and I were just thinking, if you were boondocking and you had like jugs of water and you needed to put it in your RV versus standing there and pouring it, this would probably do just the same amount of job there. Oh, look, never mind.
That's better.
If I would just keep looking, same thing though. Liquid transfer pump. There you go.
Let's get one of those actually.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Here's a cool thing. Now, our friend Jared over at All About RVs recently actually checked one of these out here from Harbor Freight. It actually performed really, really well. So it could actually be kind of handy. Little camping table for $27.99. They do have all of these like disposable nitrile gloves here. Now, I do think that you could probably find better pricing elsewhere, but most of the time, like if you go to Walmart or Sam's Club or something like that, it's just like a one size sort of thing. But here they actually have like small, medium, large. So they've got the specific sizes. All right, so still didn't really find the one thing that we were looking for. So we're going to head over to another location that's pretty much like 99% sure that we will find this there. So let's go. So we're here at the good old standby because for your regular supplies, which we need, betting you dollars to donuts, we're gonna find it in here. So here's where we talked about like the Harbor Freight option being the better option. But right here, you have an awning stabilizer kit. Look, this is the same thing, except for here, this is $11. Get the same thing over at Harbor Freight for $7 when you get 2. Walmart did not disappoint. We have got the Camco Taste Pure water filter right here. Now, the thing with these is that you want to replace this every 3 months, but we are loving using the new Camco Taste Pure because they have upgraded it. It's new, it's improved. The KDF technology basically means it's going to prevent any bacteria or mold. It has 6-step filtration. So it really helps cut down on like that bottled water use, things like that. So we love using this in the RV because you need a new one every 3 months. Come to Walmart and get it here. And I just noticed too, so if you get a 2-pack, it's actually a better deal, and they have that here. The other thing that you always need, that we always need, and that we always use is right over here. Not this, but this here. So this from our friends over at Unique Camping and Marine, which is actually the sponsor of this video. The reason that we use the Unique additives for our tanks is because Unique is the only additive on the market right now that is actually both an enzyme and a probiotic. All of the other formulas really are one or the other. This is the only one that contains both of those types of components, which really is going to make sure that you break down waste. Also is going to help cut down on any of those black tank smells. So this is really the only product that we literally have been using for the last 2 years, and we couldn't be happier with it, which when you find what works, why switch to anything else? Get it at Walmart. You can also get it on Amazon, and we have a discount at the link below as well. So they have they call it the Sidewinder, but this is like the support ladder. And a lot of campgrounds these days actually are requiring these, and they won't let you put your sewer hose just on the ground. A lot of them require it to be elevated. So you definitely want one of these. And then these patio mats, now here's the deal. For us, I feel like the jury's out. But in more recent days, we have used ours more just because of the dog more than anything, and him being outside. A lot of these are getting pretty pricey on Amazon, so here's a good alternative that you can pick up at Walmart when you're out and about as well. So they have this product here that says cleans sensors, and it's $9.97, right? So basically some sort of like sensor cleaner, $9.97 versus this, which is 16 tank treatments, and this maintains working sensors too. Like if you're using this, then you're not gonna have a sensor read issue because this is gonna be keeping your tank clean. And this is 16 treatments for the same price.
This is a 1 year supply?
Well, it says 1 year, but here's the deal. Depending upon how long you camp, this is a year supply too.
4 packets. So.
4 packets, so really that's 4 tank treatments.
Yeah.
Versus 16.
We're gonna go with that.
We're gonna go with this. Clear winner. Oh, this is interesting. So with a bayonet, this would make it really easy to repair a sewer hose. So if you need to do a sewer hose repair on the fly and just cut the end off and clamp it on here, it makes
Let's get that and put it in the cart.
Makes it easy to repair on the fly. So I've noticed this the last few times that I have been inside of a Walmart, but they are doing such a better job with their organizational products, which is super exciting. But like, look at this here. Like this is actually like stacking types of bins here. You've got all of these types of bins. You've got your fabric bins, and these are really nice, and they're like heavier duty plastic than what you're gonna find like at the Dollar Tree. But I just have to say, like, I've noticed Walmart has actually upped their organization game as well.
I think I might have opened her up to the open front.
To the open front stacking idea.
I think you're warmed up.
These
to
are nice.
Open front, easily accessible stacking bins.
The big thing is measurements. So always take measurements first.
Mm-hmm.
But I am surprised how well that the Acro Mills bins have held up in the basement even on travel days. So that is a pleasant surprise. Swear we toys. So we're gonna go in every time, man, every time. They actually are smoking something. Don't touch, but I wanna know what's in it. I can't talk the English. So it's nice to have. Good Lord. You hear that in the mic? You know, the only thing about filming inside of stores is this is an uncontrolled environment, and you never know. You just never know.
This is my green smoker. Oh yeah. Ace always has a better selection of bolts and stuff than Home Depot.
Yes. You should always be checking the undercarriage.
Which they actually have smaller versions.
It helps when you unlock the car.
I'm supposed to get it for you.
For sure. If you need a short, quick screw. Microphone belongs.
Let me show you something.
Every time that I start talking, Like Ben's wearing one of these. Tag bang.
Funny. Like this tells you how
Why are you talking to my chest?
important.
The, why can I not think and has the dumbs? All right, so here is the deal. There's actually a lot more stuff that we have found at lots of different Walmarts across the country, and you can learn more about that right up here.